Here we go. Hello, Future Bestsellers. Lovely to see you today. I'm Lisa Daly, and this is my fabulous co-host, Michelle Schusterman. Robert is out sick today, and Caro is not with us today, but we are super, super excited to get writing with you guys today. So, hello and welcome. What are you working on today, Michelle?
You know, it's funny you should ask.
Oh,
I was trying to decide this morning. I'm still in brainstorming mode on the horror novel,
yeah.
and I want to start outlining it, but I'm in the middle of outlining for two other projects, like for other work reasons, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why I'm resisting it. And then I've got to do that last revision of my mystery novel, and I feel like maybe I've had enough time away from that I want to get into it today. So I'm going to split the time. I've decided, like, the
Yeah.
first sprint, I'm going to do a little bit of work on the horror novel, and then I'm going to get to the mystery novel for the second half of the stream. It's,
That
you know,
that is lovely. That's
how about you?
fantastic. Um, I'm glad. Like I sometimes have a hard time switching back and forth.
Mhm.
I will tell you. So I have I plan like my year of marketing events, right? So in January I only had a couple, and in February I have like 3, and I sort of ramp up to 4 a month. So this month I had a cover reveal of the hockey romance cover, which I'm super excited about. And next week is the audiobook release of um, Become a Famous Romance Author.
Yes.
So, right, which I'm very excited about because this is like my first audiobook, which is many books that I've done, and I actually own the rights to Stop Getting Dumped for a million years and never did anything with them, as
Mhm.
you know how that is sometimes.
Yeah.
And so I'm very excited to do this. I narrated it, but I went to a studio to have it recorded, and the sound engineer who was editing for it had a death in his family over Christmas, so we're like a little bit delayed. So we should be enough time. Like I should get the files today and upload and all that. But this is the first one I've ever like uploaded to Findaway, and so I know it can take like a little while on Amazon for it to populate on
Right.
ACX if you go through Findaway instead of ACX directly. And so I'm up against like, well, I'll have an audiobook by next week, but I'm not positive if it will be up on the biggest platform.
Right. Right.
So, and then I'm like, well, should I like push the release? Like, because I haven't made a big deal about it yet. So I was, since the book's already out.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that is my big dilemma. So I'm going to be actually working on uploading files to Findaway today. That will be my
Okay.
big author project. But I am going to try and get some writing sprints done on the
Cool.
book as well. So yay. Let's say hi to our friends in the chat. Actually, we didn't do our intros, right? It's weirder when there's just the two of us, but I
Yeah.
feel like we're going to have a really interesting conversation today. Did I just like unplug my mic again? Yes, I did. Okay. So tell before we start, tell us a little bit about you and your channel
All
for
right.
anybody who doesn't know.
I'm Michelle Schusterman. I'm a middle grade and young adult author, and my channel is writing blogs, writing workshops, and traditional publishing chat.
Very nice. And I'm Lisa Daly. I'm a former traditionally published, now hybrid published author. And if you want to write a book you're super proud of and get it published, this is a great channel to start with. All right, so let's say hi to our friends in the chat. Lainey Davis, not your mama's bodice rippers, says, hey, excited to get stuff done. We are super, super excited that you are here today. Very glad to see you. I'm glad to see you guys here. When we were about to start, there was like nobody in the chat, and I'm like this year trying to allow more help into my life, and I asked my assistant Kayla, who was totally awesome, if she would like do the upload to StreamYard. And so when I didn't see any comments, I was like, oh no, has something gone wrong? But you're all here, so apparently it's fine. I should never have doubted her. She's fantastic. All right, so Lainey, we are super excited. I saw that you emailed me. I'm sorry I've had a week, but I am going to respond. I haven't read it yet, but I'm going to respond, whatever it is. I'll make that my goal today. How about that? See you, Savvy. Hello. Hope everybody's doing great. We hope you're doing great too. I'm so glad you're here today. Swinton's here. Swinton's going to be working on copy for upcoming Facebook and Meta ads. I'm doing Mark Dawson's workshop and learning so much. Very nice. Very nice. Let me know how that class is. I am taking Sky Warren's Facebook class, which has come highly recommended.
Mhm.
So I'm excited about that, but this is something I feel like I know some about, but not as much as I'd like to. So Vixen, hello. We're super glad you're here today. Hey, cool gamer. Glad to see you today. All right. Lainey says, hey, Swinton, love Mark's courses. I invested in ads for authors and use it regularly. Ooh, all right. That's good. I'm going to take that piece of advice. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Swinton says, I'm so inspired by his courses and videos. Very nice. All right. Hi, Ray. Thank you so much. I need to get ready for a pre-employment physical. You're going to like pump up before you go. All right. We are sending you good, healthy physical vibes. You're going to pass it with flying colors. All right. Ben, thank you for being here today. CEO had a question. When your hockey romance comes out, will you interview yourself? No. No, I will not. But I will be like that. So you want to see that again?
Yeah.
I should make that a little gif like that. Okay. So yeah, I will not interview myself, but I'm sure I will do other interviews. But like you know how like the plumber's house is always like the leaky, has the leaky faucets. Of course, I have barely scratched the surface with any sort of PR effort for that book, which is terrible because it's like the start of a series. I should be busting it. But I've got a very full plate right now, so I'm going to do what I can and not do what I can. Ray says, I need to eat first before getting ready. Herb rolls with truffle butter. What? And
Yeah, that
jalapeno
sounds
hummus. That
good.
sounds delicious. That
Mm.
sounds super delicious. Well, for you guys, what are you working on today? Let us know in the chat. I feel like it's not like I was saying, I was kind of like we had sort of a smaller crowd today starting out, and I was wondering if notifications went out. But it's kind of nice. Like it's a nice little, right? It's kind of
Yeah.
cool. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and do our 5-minute warm. Oh, this is hilarious. I in like total me fashion apparently opened 2 20-minute timers and no
Yeah.
5. So that happened. Give me 1 second and I'll get this thing up. All right. Right? I know that's just like one of those things where I go, oh yeah, I did that. Okay. Present. It still throws me the present instead of share screen. I don't know why. It's not that complicated.
Weird.
I know. It's just
So
me.
much weird.
I know. All right. Oh, it's starting without us. All right, you guys. So we're going to get started with our first 5-minute warm-up sprint so we can get our little fingers going and get your water if you don't have that and plan out what you're going to do for our big 20s today. But I'm super excited. I'm feeling very, very inspired to write today. So I love to like start off on days like that. So, all right. And I was going to write earlier, but I saved it for you guys. So okay, here we go. We are going to get started with our first 5-minute sprint in 3, 2, 1. All right, here we go. First sprint. Yes, I'm muted. Also, you're muted. Okay. What are we going to do without Caro here to tell us when I know, right? To keep me on track time wise. So, all right, here we go. All right. So I'm getting like 17 things all at once here.
I know.
Yeah, good. So how have you been?
Good.
I apparently am having one of those days. So that's a good thing, I guess, or a bad thing. I guess it depends on how you look at that. So I missed Laura Nettles earlier. So she is here. We're very happy to see her. Hi, Laura.
Yeah.
Glad to see you today. Jen writes here. So glad to see you. CEO Savvy's like, love this small group. It's like a slumber party. We should be wearing avocado masks, braiding each other's hair while our bras are in the freezer. Wait, why do we put our bras in the freezer? Now, CEO is a tropical girl like me, and I feel like she might have a secret here. Try to keep you cool, though. Like, I know that it was like a thing where they used to do that in the South, put your underwear in the icebox.
Yeah.
So you put your bras in the freezer. I think, look at me, I'm like, I think as much as I like to cool down, that might be uncomfortable. All right, here we go. BookTube Goddess, very nice to see you. We're so happy that you are here today. Cool Gamer is here today. All right, you guys, what are you working on today? I am dying to know what everybody's going to be working on. Jen says, I haven't got the early part of one of your streams in a hot minute. Well, today you didn't really miss anything. I'm having one of those days. Lots of stuff going on in publishing right now. I don't want to talk about like a news thing, but what do you think? Like, what is the thing? I know last week we talked about AI, and that like got everybody like this, and it was funny because this week the horror geek was making his thumbnails, and he always struggles with the imagery for his thumbnails because he reviews a lot of like older horror movies, like from the 80s and the 90s, and or sometimes even older. And so a lot of times the images he's taking are like a screen capture. So they're already a little blurry from someone,
Yeah.
Want to see that? Somebody moving around. I know it's not good. So somebody moving around, like, moving around within the scene, but a lot of times, like, the quality's not as good, and he always really struggles with that. And yesterday, he's like, "You got to come in my office and see this." And so he had used one of those AI magical picture fixers, right, where it doubles or triples the pixels, and he take these like old fuzzy looking images and make them so much like brighter and vibrant. It's kind of amazing.
That's awesome.
It really is. It really is. So yeah, so that was it. That just had me thinking, because my first instinct after we talked about AI and how it's coming to take our jobs was like, is this wrong? Or is this okay? And I decided, since you're putting in like a picture and you're just making a sharper version of what's there versus stealing someone else's work to make some new canned spam. So yeah. But I thought, but that was my first thought, like, wait, is this going to take someone's job? And of course that is like a terrible, terrible way to go at anything. Okay. Transcriber. Hi, we're very glad you're here. Welcome. Transcriber says, I'm working on something new because I'm feeling stuck on a second draft. What do you do about that, Michelle, when you feel stuck on a second draft or any draft?
It depends. Sometimes is it under deadline? Do I have because if I have a contract, then I force my way through it because I don't really have a choice, But I don't know. I try to just be really honest with myself as far as like, am I really stuck, or am I just looking for an excuse because this isn't always super fun?
Right, because this is the hard part.
Yeah, there's just a hard part. And sometimes you really truly need a break from a project. I don't want to diminish that.
No,
And
not at all.
Nobody
And
can
sometimes
figure it out but you.
right, exactly. And sometimes you just need time. You just need to give yourself something else to work on.
Right.
I definitely have had that happen. So I'm like you, if I'm stuck on something, I will generally try, I'll come at it a couple different ways and try and figure out if I can figure out what's going on with it. And sometimes I'll go to another creative project, usually not another writing project, unless it's like completely different, like a nonfiction project if I'm coming from fiction.
Mhm.
Um, and sometimes I'll just do some other creative thing and just give my brain enough of a break from the project that you come back with the answer. But yeah, it's a challenging thing. What do you guys do? In the chat, let us know. What do you guys do when you're stuck on a draft? But the other thing too is like, I always try and figure out like, why am I stuck here? And I always go back to plotting, and that's almost like when I'm stuck, it's almost usually what am I trying to say? It's almost always because I have not thought through a particular part of the plot, or it's going
Right.
to impact something else later. So
Yeah.
we feel you, transcriber. We're there with you. But yeah, let us know, you guys, what you do if you're stuck on a draft. Avion/CO says, working on client work as usual. Got to pay the bills. I feel you that. Your stream is during my remote work shift, but I always watch the replay, right? Aww.
Mhm.
We love you so much. Vixen says, I'm working on Outline Zero Draft. Super cool. Okay, Vixen's with me. It's okay, right? If it's enhancing an image that is already there. All right. Okay, good. I'm glad, because I was like, should this be causing a crisis? Swinton, I'm meeting with a Zoom critique group tomorrow, so I'm going over the pages I'm going to be reading to them. That's pretty cool. That is kind of a nice thing. I have never been one for I shouldn't say that. Like, my critiquing tends to be like more asynchronous. Like, I will critique friends' work and they'll critique mine, but we don't generally have like a group. But I know a lot of people really enjoy that. And I think doing it on Zoom is probably a fantastic way to, get that done. All right. When I'm stuck on my draft, CO says, I go back to my one sentence pitch to find the heart of my story, and it usually
Yep.
works for me. That is great advice.
Really
That
is.
is really great advice. Absolutely. All right. Well, speaking of writing, we should maybe start. It's 11:25. I think we should do a sprint.
Yes, let's
All right.
do it.
All right. Here we go. Let's share the screen. All right. There we go. I'm going to make this big, and we are going to get rolling. All right, you guys, let's write like we haven't been stuck in a million years, and we never will be stuck. We've got this today. We're feeling good. The sun is out. It's a marvelous day for writing. So let's get some done. If the sun is not out where you live, the sun is out somewhere near where you live. So we'll just go with that. All right, guys, let's get started with our first 20-minute writing sprint. We're going to do that starting in 3, 5, 2, 1. Let's cha-cha. All right, we are back. So, how'd you do on that last sprint?
That was really good. I did a full character profile for one of my side like supporting characters.
Mm-hmm.
Um about 400 words of just like backstory and goal and want and need kind of stuff. Help me make some connections, like how he's going to fit into the story.
Mm-hmm. I love that. So, how detailed, I'm really curious now that you mentioned that, how curious your character sketches are and how deep do you
Mm.
go? Like, you do main characters and some supporting cast,
Yeah.
right? How,
Mhm.
who do you decide gets a character development sheet?
So for this particular book, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, which it's usually not that big, but this is a multi POV novel, and I think every POV character needs one. And I
Right.
have 6 POV characters.
Oh,
But
wow. That's
then
a lot.
it is, I know. And then there's 5 other characters that are like kind of antagonists. And even though they're in the background, they're such an important part of the backstory that I just feel
Mm-hmm.
like I need to, and then for detail, I don't fill all of this out, but the sheet I have is their goal, personality traits, habits and mannerisms, background, internal
Interesting.
conflicts, and external conflicts.
Yeah. Oh, I
Yeah.
love that. Well, that's good because it's helpful to have some of that information, even for characters that are, secondary characters.
Yeah.
And like if you have 11, that everybody, like every main character and a sidekick, they all right, everybody gets one.
Yeah.
Um yeah, so mine tend to not be like I definitely do them on my main characters for sure.
Mhm.
And then I will tend to put in things like that are interesting or strange. Like if a character has a specific mannerism, like
Right.
yeah, that kind of thing.
Something
So
to help them stand out.
right. And
Yeah.
it also makes them feel a little more, fleshed out and
Yes.
like real people. I want to talk though about, and maybe you don't. Maybe we should wait till after the chat. You already know what I'm going to say, right?
I do.
I want to talk. Oh, I was just thinking you might because of the face you made because I
Oh.
made a face. I want to talk about 6 POV characters. What kind of book is this?
Oh, this is the horror novel.
Oh, this is you're doing 6.
Yeah.
No, like, okay, first of
Uh,
all, if anybody can pull this off, it's totally you.
well, thanks, because you know what? The mystery novel had like 11.
No, not 11 POV characters, really?
Well, okay,
Or
like
were you like solving the mystery like from I'm dying to read this. Are you solving the mystery from like you're seeing all the different
yes, you're
POVs?
seeing all
Okay,
the
okay, that makes
and
no sense.
some of them literally had like one scene, but one of them has like probably 40% of the book. So I do still kind of have a primary protagonist. It's just they're all in the same house together and
Right.
they're all in each other's scenes. So I don't think it's quite so crazy to go
That it
from
sounds
one
like
thing
to
to
have
another.
11. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eva was here. We want to say bye, Eva. We're so glad you
Mhm.
made it today. We're very glad you are here today. Coffee Life says, I have 6 POV characters from 3 different timelines.
Mm.
That is, I would not be able to keep, I will confess, I would not be able to keep that many characters and timelines straight. Are you writing like a fantasy? I feel like
It
if
sounds
you're
like it.
right, they're moving time. God
This
bless you.
is, man, giving me flashbacks to my time travel fantasy where I had 6 POV characters from 6 different generations, like decades. It was so much.
It does, right? It gets to be a lot.
Oh my
But I
god.
mean, on one hand, it could be really interesting. Like I've seen like multiple POVs
Mhm.
books. Like it really depends on the skill of the author. Often first time authors will try to do multiple POVs and I'm like, nope, stick to one. And the reason for that is that it's really challenging to have different voices and right, exactly.
Yeah.
And also it sometimes can be hard for the reader to follow along. that said, you are such an experienced writer
Mm.
that no, you make that face. Oh, I'm working on 9 books this week.
Uh,
And right, you've been writing for a long time. You
yeah.
can totally pull this off.
Thank
So
you.
you're welcome.
I hope so.
If I ever want to write 9 or not 9, but if I ever want to write like more than 2, I will definitely be calling you because it's a skill. It's a real skill.
It
And
is. Yeah.
but I totally believe that you can pull it off. And I
Thank you.
think like when you were talking about the mystery novel having 6, at first I'm thinking like, how does that, and then as soon as I'm like, oh, that's how you can learn about the
Yeah.
mystery through like the witness interviews or something.
Right.
Brilliant. I love that idea. And that's the thing for every rule. Sorry, go ahead.
I think no, and I just think for mysteries in general that it can be actually it can almost make your life easier in other ways because you can plant red herrings because certain characters are going to know things that other characters aren't.
Right.
So just choosing which POV to be in for a specific reveal
Right.
can help you withhold or share whatever you want with the reader, you know?
Right. Well, and you know, humans and witnesses, human witnesses are unreliable witnesses
Yes.
as right. And so sometimes, sure, we saw everything that happened, but maybe we, you know, we're filtering that through our own perception. And, you know, when real cops interview, you know, 5 different subjects, they're going to get different responses to what
Mhm.
happened.
Mhm.
I mean, you know, the horror geek and I will sometimes disagree on something we were both present for,
Right.
right? Everybody has had that experience. So we're like, no, was it that? Yeah, it was. So Heather says, looking forward to this year's Necro because it's the 42nd year. The theme is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Nice.
Is I don't know. Is so Necro, is it Necro Comic Con? Is that what that is? Is
I have
that the
no
one
idea, but it sounds really fun. I mean,
is
if
that the
it's
one
the
in
Hitchhiker's Guide.
Tampa? I'm a little curious about that. Oh, look at that. I asked and I see she had already updated. Look, if you're looking for the answer to the question I just asked, it's
Hey,
already up there.
nice.
Very nice. Very nice. I think that I don't want to go to the link, but Heather, do you know when that is? I think that might be the one that they've asked the horror geek to make an appearance at. That's how famous he is now, guys. That's not it? Oh, I'm not allowed to say that. Shh, that's not true. I just completely lied right there. um, I'm not allowed to say that. I guess we're deleting this live stream. Sorry, honey. Okay. That's okay. That's okay. You guys all shh, don't tell us all. Okay. So let's take some comments. We have hello. Okay, so Heather says it's the 3rd weekend of September. Um, everybody, little chit chat back and forth. Heather's still scrolling. Well, here's when Eva came in. Hi, glad to see you. Lainey says she made changes to 2 chapters. Yes, that's awesome. Fantastic. Okay, Eva says my fantasy has 14 characters with enough to have some intel on their backstory. Oh, that's interesting. All right, cool. Fantastic. Coffee Life has 6 PO. Oh, this is one we talked about. 6 POV characters from 3 different timelines. Very, very nice. Heather says, I will never have that many POVs. At least I hope so. So Coffee Life has historical fantasy romance. I can totally see that having, well, first
Yeah.
of all, anytime you do any sort of, you know, time travel or different timelines, you're obviously going to have like each timeline has their own sort of characters and groups. So I can totally see that. It terrifies me, the idea of doing that, but I admire it. Heather says, if I'm inspired to, somebody talk me out of it. Okay, all right, this makes sense. Copy Life says it deals with past lives and they connect. So just got to make sure the story flows and weaves well. Cool, very nice. Theo said, I can never say this word. It's like one of those where, say it.
Enneagram? I think
Enneagram.
that's
I
how I
think
see
it's
it in my head.
that's how I see it in my head also, but I always want to say something different. But and it's one of those words, like, don't you have words that you always have to look up? I feel like
Oh, yeah.
right? I feel like we had a conversation on one of our streams a while back about
Yeah.
that
Yep.
we yeah. So
Oh, you wanna hear a really, really, really funny one I used to have for, like,
yes.
an embarrassingly long time in my adult life? I thought
Yes.
candelabra was candle bra. And I literally thought it was that because it's like a bra for a
Right,
candle.
it holds the candles. Yes, that makes perfect sense. That makes
Yeah.
perfect sense, right? Okay, so thank you very much. Somebody
Mhm.
just said, wait, I thought this was really hilarious. Lainey, thank you. Very, very nice. She says she's feeling pretty good about it so far. Timeline will be my friend. Very, very nice. All right, Heather, you're you're sworn to secrecy. Okay. Coffee Life, candle bra. Yeah, I love that. I feel like let's all adjust our candle bras and maybe do another set of spritz. How about
Yes,
that? Let's do another
sounds good.
spritz. All right, here we go. I love this conversation though, you guys.
Mm.
It's insane but fun. Okay, here we go. I'm going to put this up on the screen. Oh, what's that? That's weird. Oh, it's just dark. That's why. Got it? All right. Oh, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Sprint. Okie dokie, we are back. So I'm feeling really good. I was actually super productive on that last stream. How about you? How'd you do?
Yeah, really good. I finished up. I've been vlogging, and so I finished up that character profile and like vlogged about that step.
Finishing the
And
character
then
profile.
I'm trying to print my mystery novel because I want to do this revision on paper.
Yeah.
And it's 336 pages. And for some reason, every 20 pages, my printer stops and says out of memory. And I don't know how to,
Oh
I don't know what that
no.
means. And then I'll go and I'll say, okay, print from this page to this page. And it does it, but I can't just get it to like
Print the
print the
whole
whole thing.
thing. That's weird. Have you tried unplugging it and turning it off and on?
That is going to be the next step.
That's the next one. I got like my printer died a couple, I don't know, 3 years ago, I guess. And so I got the I can't remember what it's called. It's right here. The Eco Tank one. So it has like the big tanks of printer ink, so you're not constantly refreshing cartridges.
Yeah.
And like I wouldn't print pictures on it or anything because
Yep.
it's not really for that, but it's excellent for manuscripts. And I print a ton of stuff, and because I'm the same way, I like to edit on paper. And I have not had, like, I've only had to replace the black ink once. I still have the color from like 3 years ago because the
Yeah.
tanks are so big.
I've never, this is a behemoth of a printer, and the toner I rarely run out of,
Yeah.
but I've never had it say out of,
I know
running
that's
out of
really
memory.
odd.
What do you need to remember?
Right, just print it. Don't remember it, just print it. Yeah, well, sometimes there's a
Yeah.
setting, like my old printer used to have a deal where like you could scan a bunch of stuff in like to fax it or something, or you could
Mhm.
scan something into print later, which I never quite got like why someone would want to do that. But so maybe you've accidentally turned on a setting that's like that where it is
Yes.
trying to store the whole, are you printing in Word or is it some other?
Word.
It shouldn't be
It's
that.
like a standard,
It
yeah.
should be like a teeny tiny little file, even if
I
it's
know.
300 pages.
I don't understand.
I totally I definitely would try like unplugging it and
I
resetting.
will. I can
Yeah.
see it's still like it might be about to make some noise because I've got the window open on my monitor.
Yeah.
And it was just slowly going through page by page. It just finished, so I don't know. I'll see if it starts printing again. It's not
I,
making any noise. So I don't know.
that's the word. So this is really funny. When I did the daytime show, a couple of years ago, I got to be a co-host one day, which was awesome. It was really
Ooh.
fun. And one of the things that we did on the show that day was we had a guy like, and this was several years ago, but it was before like smash rooms were a thing. And
Mm.
this guy brought in all this stuff on the set, all these old printers and all this stuff, and like gave us baseball bats, and we just beat the crap out of those things. And first of all, it's a great stress reliever. So if you do have to buy a new printer, I know what you can do with your old one because oh
Mm.
my God. But
Like office
especially for
space,
right, especially for writers though, if we yeah, I think we all have some pent up irritation with our
for
printers.
sure.
So yeah. And it always feels like I could print stuff for Mike the whole day. Like I could print stuff for him all day if I needed to. But the second I have something, it's always
Yeah,
like,
it's like nope.
I'm confused or I can't find the printer. I'm like, it's right there. It's right at the end of the desk. So yeah, there's that. Speaking of technological stuff, so
Mm.
my MacBook is like several years old, and I have been waiting to upgrade until the new Macs came out, and they
Mm.
just came out. So
Yay.
right, and I literally like when I say I've been waiting, like my R key often flies off as I'm typing,
Oh no.
and I know, and it's just like, and this particular laptop has been kind of a dud, even though I have used Macs for years and I love them, and I'm going
Mm.
back. Yeah, but I'm weirdly excited. Oh, also this Enneagram. I
Enneagram. I said
Enneagram.
Enneagram. I was close, but not quite.
You were very close. I literally have to look that word up. Like I know the meaning. I have to look up
Mm.
the word, the pronunciation every single time. And thank goodness for Merriam-Webster's little like I love that thing.
Yes.
Hi Morgan. We
Hey.
are very glad to see you today. Shannon's here. Hello. Thank you so much. Oh, good reminder. Thank you so much. She says, 2 weeks left. If you want to speak at the 2023 AuthorTube Writing Conference, submit your application if you're interested. She dropped a link. That is fantastic. Very, very nice. We have a Candelbra. I'm never going to see that word without thinking of you. Never, never, never. Yeah. So this is really fun, you guys. Anyway, so oh, thanks so much. I'll let him know. He'll be really thrilled. Transcriber says, I didn't write as much as I did. Back to work on my second draft. Oh, yay. Working on the new thing cleared enough for me. Yay. Hold on. You know what you get? It's coming. It's important. I feel like we need to share this moment together. Yeah.
Yay.
So good. That is absolutely fantastic. Jen got 438 words.
Nice.
I am not doing a word count because I'm writing in little boxes to fill all this stuff out. All right. Sako's doing some filming today, learning how to make a video that doesn't suck. Your videos don't suck. You already learned it. Good job. Jen says, I think there's a reason. All right. Very, very nice. Lainey, is that true?
Oh,
Are you a hot, right? That's kind of crazy. It like literally flies off. My E does too. Look. Oh, I can't want to take it. It's like attached on the bottom, but the top part is like flappy. And I have, a million external keyboards, but this one, it just never. Yeah, there we go. Dying. Very nice. Morgan says, I'm trying to write and revise and it's not flowing. So I'm looking over my outline again. That is always a good strategy to start with that. And Jen is printing something. And a space bar. I've not had a problem with my space bar, but definitely you're right. Like the E, the R, sometimes I'm like looking at my keys like, yep, the S looks like it's about to go. So I'm desperately in need of a new laptop. But I really I should have bought one like a year ago, but I just did. I want the new model and I thought it'd be coming out sooner. So I'm glad it's finally here. The Horror Geek texted me yesterday and well, guess what? So 12:25, you guys, we have time for what?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sprint. I know I'm feeling good. I felt very, very productive today. We've had a lot of really good sprints lately.
Yeah.
I mean, the last couple of sprint streams, we've had a lot. I just feel like I've been super, super productive. Although again, with I really have mapped out my whole time, the next year as far as projects. And so part of that is that I'm so determined to do what I need to do during the time that I have to do it in.
Right.
That makes sense. All right, here we go. I'm going to put 20 minutes up on the clock and let's do our last sprint. You guys make this one count. I'm super excited. I know you got it in you. All right, here we go. 3. Okay. We're here. I did the thing again where I was like so into the project that I like did not know that the timer was ending until I hit the beep. Just like you.
I'm sorry for the printer noise. Can you hear me, Lisa?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh,
Can
okay. It's almost done. I've got. It took
Yay!
so long to do it in 25-page chunks.
Takes forever, I think.
Oh
So
my god.
do you do like big, like will you like 3-hole punch it and put it in a big notebook, or you just leave it like a giant stack of paper?
No, I'm gonna leave it because it's divided into 4 parts, and I want to like actually separate them out. You
Into the
know?
4 parts.
Yeah, yeah. I like to I like to like get on the floor and spread stuff out. You know, it just helps me feel like I'm getting a big picture view of it. So yeah, no.
Yes. No, I'm totally the same way. Yeah, I absolutely relate to that. And it's sad because like this is my, well, not that sad. It's a little bit sad for me because my office is like, it's very cozy. It has like the best view, but it's also like the smallest room.
Uh-huh.
And so I don't have a ton of space to like spread stuff out.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yep.
but I have enough. I'll just like wheel the chair outside and then, do that. So, I think it really does help to, especially if you're a really visual person, which I
Yeah.
am. It
It's
really,
almost
yeah.
sometimes it almost it's the same thing with having a big monitor. You know, like having 2
Mhm.
monitors, one of them being big, is that it's almost like akin to claustrophobia. Like I want the story spread out and big and open.
Right.
It's like, I have a
I totally know what you mean.
I have a client who does a lot of her writing on her phone. And I'm just like, "Oh god, that makes me feel like I'm trapped in an elevator or something." It's just I don't know how people do that.
I admire anybody who can, and I know authors who have like written entire books like while waiting in the carpool line,
More
which
power to you. That's great.
exactly. And I have definitely I've never written like a whole book, but
Mm,
certainly I have like come up with an idea for a scene and written
right.
out, and I have definitely plotted novels on my phone only
Nice.
because I often have really good ideas when I'm in the bathtub. And so I'm like, oh, I don't want to get out. I'll just like
Yeah.
that. So like,
I have a friend who has a whiteboard in the shower because she gets so many ideas in the shower. And that's like the easiest way, like a dry erase board, you know?
uh-huh. My daughter bought me shower paper for Christmas
Mm,
this year, which I have not installed in
flowers.
the shower, but apparently it's waterproof paper to write down your
Oh
ideas.
my god, that's amazing.
I know, right? It's kind
So
of a
cool.
cool gift, especially for a writer. I think it's a
Yeah.
really cool gift. So, Shannon says, I sent someone your way yesterday. Lisa, an author, was wanting a video on taxes, and I was like,
Hmm.
I know one. As you guys know, I'm all about keeping every nickel, right? We need to keep all our nickels.
Yeah.
So I know I'm a total tax nerd, but I do have a video if you guys want to see that. This is the time of year. Okay. Morgan wrote a little bit. Yeah,
Right.
that's fantastic. Very nice. Heather walked around, checked on phone call, pulled out some pages. Very, very nice. JC is working on reformatting her poetry book. JC, when are you planning to launch that? I'm dying to know. So, Eva said, I'd run out of hot water if I started taking notes in the shower. Totally feel that. Although I used to take super long showers, and now I take a lot shorter showers, and I'm pretty sure it's because our shower is like a power wash. Like my hair is really thick, and I think the reason I was always in the shower so long is because it took forever to get like this, the shampoo and conditioner out of my hair. But now I'm like like just like this massive, it really is a power wash, and it like takes 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm not in the shower for 7 hours anymore, so that's very nice. Love that. So JC says February is when my second poetry book is releasing.
Ooh.
Oh, that's wonderful. That is so fantastic. What day is it? Valentine's Day? I think I think it might be a Tuesday. Maybe it's a Wednesday this year. Anyway, yes, right around the corner. Well, let us know. Definitely let us know. And if you want to come on and talk about it, let's do that too. So, all right, you guys. I think that today was super productive for me. Were
Gosh,
you
yeah, I felt
yeah,
really
you
good.
too? How about you guys in the chat? How did you all do today? How's everybody feeling about what they did with their writing? EJ still writing as I'm listening. Nice. Keep it going. We'll be quiet. We'll be quiet over here. Heather also worked a bit in the HB90 fillable planner Sarah Cannon put out in the Q1 boot camp. Good for you. That is fantastic. That is a class that I feel I would like to take. I've had lovely conversations with Sarah at conferences, and I think she's fantastic. I think she's absolutely lovely, fantastic. But I've not done her thing yet, so we'll see. We'll see. All right, Sako just finished filming, now editing. That is fantastic. I'm hanging in there. A little pain, but you survive. All right, we're sending you lots of love, honey. Very, very nice. All right. Well, we have just enough time to do, like, we have more time than we need to do outros, but not enough time to do another sprint. So if you guys have any questions, definitely throw them up. Otherwise, I think we're going to go ahead and do our questions or comments. I guess if you have anything you want to that you want to ask the group or say. But yeah. So, or we can just finish early today. Who knows? Let's do this. We'll start doing our outros. And then if we have questions pop up at the bottom, we'll do that until it's time to go.
Sounds good.
And if we don't, then we'll leave early. Who knew? Michelle, before we go today, tell us all about you and your awesome channel for anybody who came in late.
All right, I'm Michelle Schusterman. I'm a young adult and middle grade author, and my channel is writing workshops, writing vlogs, and traditional publishing chat.
Excellent. And it's a wonderful, wonderful channel. You have so many great videos. And I love the fact that you are vlogging simultaneously during the stream. I think that's awesome. I'm Lisa Daly. I'm a traditionally published author of romance, contemporary romance, rom-com, and nonfiction dating and writing advice. And I'm now a hybrid author. And if you want to write a book you're super proud of and get it published, this is a great place to be. So let's do some comments and then we will head out the door. So Heather says Sarah is amazing. She is. She has such a good vibe too. Like she's just got like a lovely sort of peace about her. She's a lovely person. Bootcamp is great, but I want to do Publish and Thrive. I've heard even more great things about that one. Me too. JC says the coffin was a little cramped. I totally missed the rest of that conversation, but I love it. All right. And Vixen says, thanks to I don't know what it is. I don't have to go back in the chat and figure out what it is. And also scrub all evidence that I went bleh and told a secret I shouldn't have. See if I can I don't know if I can do that. I don't think you can edit a live stream after the fact. And Vixen's going to go check on her puppies. And that seems like an awesome time for us to say goodbye. So thank you guys so much for being here today. If you want to try a new sprint, I actually just posted a video on Monday, a super sprint video. I posted like a couple years ago a binaural beats sprint, which is like, right. And it's one of my most popular videos, but I had seen this really fascinating article that the most effective, like the most productive people tend to work in a cycle of 52 minutes of work and 17 minutes of rest. And so I did a 52-17 binaural beats. So if you like it and you want to do a super sprint, that might be a good thing. Sako wants to sub to Dia's newsletter. Yes. Can you drop it? Before we go, Nia? Do you want to drop it in the chat? If you can, that would be great. Vixen says, thanks. I was very nervous. Thank you, Heather. I'll have to check that out. Very, very nice. Love you. All right. That's it. Okay. We're heading out the door. I hope you guys all have an awesome week, and we will see you back here next Wednesday, same time, 11 a.m. Eastern. Have a great week, everybody, and happy writing. Bye.